Hello, hello. I am just sharing on Instagram that we're live and inviting people to join us. Just waiting 1 second. Hello, hi. Okay, so good news and bad news. But like, it wouldn't be my stream if I didn't start with a little bit of bad news, right? Because I'm always complaining about my mic arm. Today, that is the good news. The mic arm arrived, it is here, we are using it, so hopefully the audio will sound a little bit better for you guys than it has been. The other thing, let's see. Okay, so the April Studio Calico kit, you can't see that because the screen is so bright, hold on. The April Studio Calico kit won by a landslide. But, of course, today is the one day that it decided not to be delivered, even though the shipping notification said out for delivery. So, hi, hello, new here, that's good, welcome. Anyway, so no Studio Calico kit today, but tune in on Saturday. The audio is echoing. Oh, thank you. Cody, the audio is echoing. Well, can you come help me fix it? Okay. Tune in on Saturday, and I will be using the Studio Calico kit.
Sounds like
Sounds echoey and far away.
it sounds like both of the things are.
Do I not need to bring that closer? Stand by. Hi, Carolee. Testing. Does the audio sound any better? You know, one of the days we'll get this down, but it's always a little bit of fine tuning that's needed. How is the audio now? Not better yet. Okay. How about now? Oh, wait. We have better, not better, a little better, thumbs up, much better, and great. A lot better? Okay, good. The only thing is that I'm going to hit my head on that. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might be able to dodge it until we can get a better.
Make sure you talk into it because this is facing the wrong.
Well, I'm not going to be able to talk straight into it because it's up.
I know, but like, like that?
Okay.
That.
Well, stand by. 1 sec. Okay, this is what we're going with tonight. I'll watch the playback, and if I don't like the way the audio sounds, then we'll just take on the task of modifying again. It'll be an evolving process. But as long as you can hear me, then I think we're good, because that's the main thing. It sounds good. Okay, I'm glad. I printed out a few photos last minute. Okay. I'm having one of those days. Nothing is satisfying me right now. I feel like the color is washed out and stuff. But it's fine. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go on as normal. So I just broke off all those little edgy things because I print on my selfie. And I don't have a plan, of course, because when do I ever have a plan? So I'm thinking I'm going to start out with an 8.5 by 11 layout, just in my comfort zone, get in the groove of things, and go from there. So let me get my cardstock. And I'm going to trim it down to 8.5 by 11. And while I'm doing that, let's think of something to chat about. What are you guys working on today? Are you crafting or are you just watching? And if you are crafting, what are you working on? Also, my other question for people that have watched multiple streams, how are the extra sounds, like the sounds not of my voice, but like when I close the thing on the paper trimmer, like the clicking or this? Like when I take my tools out and stuff, you know how I was saying before that it's probably going to be really loud in your ears? How is it compared to that? Oh, that's my constant struggle, is wanting to craft but not knowing what to work on. And then I spend so much time thinking about what I want to work on that I just give up and I don't craft because, oh, no wonder I'm unsatisfied with the picture quality. My lights are not on. Yikes, hold on, I'm working on it. Okay, let's see. Maybe it was better without them. Okay.
It's a little bright.
I know, it is a little bright. I think it's just because the only thing I have down right now is white. Just finished Lister's Got a List. Oh, that's okay. The replay will be on YouTube and you can catch that, but Lister's Got a List is good. I have been working on mine also. Tools are quieter. Good, I'm glad. Okay, gonna start out with this photo and pull out my watercolors. So this is my main watercolor palette, but I keep my extras in here. So I'm just going to see if I want to use any of these tonight, which I do not. So hi, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad my skin tone is correct. Sometimes it looks orange. Thanks for being my eyes. I have 3 different versions of the stream up on my computer screen for different reasons, and the picture looks different in each one of them, so I never know which one is the accurate representation. Where do I want to put this? I'm right-handed, so it makes the most sense for it to be over here. So what I usually do is, before I go in with my watercolors, I do a little bit of layering behind my photo so that I can get a general idea of where I'm going to want to place them. And for this one, I'm just starting out. So I'm going to start out with my normal like bottom right hand corner type layout. Those are my favorite. And I'm just going to go through some. This one is Jen Hadfield, Simple Life. Ooh, that's a pretty one. I think I want to use that with one of these photos where the orange will be pulled out more because of the warm tone of the photos. This one, I think Cody's shirt is going to pull the blue out of it a little more than I wanted to, so I'll save this one. Ooh, that's pretty. I haven't looked at this paper pad in longer than I care to admit. Okay, I like that. Can never go wrong with some text, but I'm thinking I'm gonna pull out, grab it, it's next to me. My favorite paper pad ever. Bring this photo back up so that I know. This one's really pretty too. That would be fun to use as a full background, which is funny that I'm saying that because I don't like, generally, I don't like patterned paper backgrounds, but this one's nice and subtle, like a little ledger. Hi, hello.
Ooh, the All Heart collection. When it first came out, I was like, ugh, what is that? And then the more I started seeing it in projects, I was like, oh wait, I think I kind of love it. So we'll see. I may have to place an order sometime soon to pick a little bit of it up. Carolee, you're using the All Heart collection too? And I know, Drea, you just picked up like the paper pad or something from that collection. This one's pretty. I just saw one that I contemplated, but because I was talking, I went past this one. I'm contemplating this one. That's always how it goes for me. The collections that come out that I'm like not so sure about, I end up loving usually. I think that's what I like about it, is like the collaginess. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. And I know I already have a piece of this pulled out, but it's not next to me, so I'm gonna take the lazy route and I'm just gonna pull out the second piece. Die cuts and washi. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go stock scrapbook.com and grab a few pieces. I will say, even though I ended up really loving it, I don't love all of the pieces in the collection, which for me is a good thing, because then I won't be tempted to buy it all. Ooh, that's good to know that it's on Amazon. Usually the prices on Amazon are like ridiculously high compared to going with like scrapbook.com or something. I will check it out. Yeah, but I'm happy that I don't love all of it, because then I'd be tempted to buy it all. Amazon and I are kind of in a fight right now, so I'm not sure if... Oh, Dear Lizzie's new collection is another one that I have been eyeing, because I really love the orange and yellow and red tones. I'm really loving that, so we'll see. Yes, please do post photos so that we can see what you've been making. Yay for the internet working. That's always a good thing. I just made a quick mat around that photo. Okay. I just took a drink out of my water bottle, and it exploded water all over me and my chair. I think it's just one of those days. One of those days where things are not going as smooth as I would like them to. But that's okay, because I'm gonna craft. Now I'm going to... Sorry, I just saw about the memory decks. And I was curious what was going on, because I was like, oh, Carolee does that. But turns out that's what you guys are talking about. I needed a rough edge, so I did a little tearing, and I'm gonna do some slicing as well. I really want to do a collection stream, like a collection based stream where I choose a collection and that's what I use in the video or in the stream. And I'm thinking I want to do it with sunny days. Yay, can't wait to see you Saturday. Have a good rest of the night. I think I want to do it with sunny days, because that is a collection that I pretty much need to buy a lifetime supply of. Okie doke, let's see. Where did that blue paper go? I already lost it. Oh, it's right here. Thinking like that, and then I'm just going to do my watercolor behind it, and it'll kind of like spread out a little. I would like more of that pattern in there, but ooh, what if I did like a, got an idea. Yes, we were talking about that the last time we hung out. I'm so in love with it. I like just could stare at it all day long. Good summer pictures, that's a good idea, but I have a feeling, sorry, I have a feeling I'm gonna be using that collection to document all seasons for like the next year. Can't decide how thick I want this to be. And gonna do that, I think. And then the watercolors are going to like come out of the side, which will be really fun. And then I think I'll do this like a little off-centered. Ooh, I like it. Yep. I like it. Okay. You guys can probably hear my breathing a lot more now. I don't know if this microphone would pick up breathing, but I am a really heavy breather. So if you hear me breathing like I just ran a mile, it's nothing to be concerned about. Just my breathing when I'm getting my craft on. Just marking where that will be generally so that I know where to do my watercoloring. Now for the fun stuff. And tuck that in because I need all of this space. Actually, things are in my way here. I'm gonna do some reorganizing. There we go. Much better. Now you guys can actually see the whole layout. I am thinking I want to do oh, Dre, you cracked me up. I didn't think about the color scheme before I decided on this over here, so I don't really know what colors I want to do my watercoloring in. I'm thinking like a mustard yellow would complement this blue and this like peachy color. Then I usually do 3 colors, so maybe maybe a mustard yellow, a like soft powdery blue, and maybe like a burnt orange. I like it. I think I'm gonna do that. So I have my 2. Let me scoot them back just a tiny bit. I have my 2 water cups. When I'm using multiple colors, I have 2. So I rinse and then I rinse a second time to get all of the previous color off. And then this is my watercolor towel, if you couldn't tell by all the paint off on it. And this is my favorite watercolor brush. It is Princeton Neptune size 12. It's round. It's really soft and squishy. The best. Okay, now you'll probably notice that I love a good mustard, if you didn't already know that about me. And the mustard, orange, somewhat like burnt orangey red colors are all of these. So I have quite the selection to choose from. So usually I don't remember which one is the shade that I like. So I have to test all of them. Okay, so that one's like a nice, let's get a scratch paper. Where did I put that? That's a good mustard. Also, I know this is going to be weird to some people, but I actually can't do it when it's not sideways. I don't like having this in front of me. I like it to be next to me, or next to it. Just a very strange situation. I'm very picky about odd things. That's a really good mustard. Let's try another one. I think this one's more of a brown mustard, if I remember correctly. That's a good mustard too. This is what happens. This is why I have so many mustard yellows, because they're so good. This one down here. That one's more of a brownie orange mustard. Okay, so I think it's between these two. This one's definitely more yellow than it is mustard. Let me get this up here and get some feedback. I hope it's not too shiny. Set our autofocus. There we go. Do we like this one or this one? So the one on the right or the one on the left? This one's out. The first one, so this one right here. Oh, this one, far right. We have one for this and one for this. I need a tiebreaker. I can't make my own decisions, you guys. Okay, I really like the far right too. I think on our next layout we're going to use the far right. But this one we're going to go with the middle, because I think that yellow will complement the blue that I'm going to use really nicely. This one, as close to the edge as possible, is the one that I want to use next. Okay, I need to remember that. So like 20 minutes from now when I ask you guys, you'll be able to tell me which one. No, I know. I like this one. But I think that the lighter yellow of this is going to complement the blue much better. Let's see. I actually know it will. Yeah. I'm just testing things out. Nope. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay. Actually, do this now. We're gonna go with the darker one, the one on the far right. Because as much as I thought it wasn't going to complement that blue, it did a lot, so. And I just love the deep mustard color. Now I'm just creating blobs. Blobs are the key to natural looking watercolor backgrounds. I don't know why that word was so hard to think of. And in here, this is where the paper is going. So again, it doesn't really matter what's on that outer or on that inner area as long as the outer area looks good. Adding in these little globby things that I'm doing right now, I'm gonna give the color some dimension. I like it. Now I'm gonna go in with the blue while this dries, and then I'm probably gonna add a little bit more onto the yellow for more dimension. But one thing to remember is that while I don't know what cardstock you're using if you're doing this, I'm using Basil Avalanche cardstock, and while it is a better cardstock to like do mixed media on, it's not watercolor paper. So if you do too much like brushing, it'll make your paper all pilly and gross looking. And I'm pretty sure this yellow is from, yeah, Prima. Color is 33 and it's from the palette that has the initials DP. So pastels? What is it? Dreamy pastels or something like that? No, this isn't a pastel. I don't know. But in case you're wondering, it's from a Prima marketing palette. And this color that I'm using right now is called Crashing Waves. It is from Designs by Rachel Beth. She's on Etsy, well, and Instagram, but Etsy is where you buy her watercolors. They're great quality, super pigmented. She hand makes them. Nice supporting small businesses. And she actually makes, I'm not a huge shimmer person, but she makes the best shimmery watercolors I have ever used. Even compared to like the really nice brands, her shimmers are amazing. My favorite is Chrysanthemum, so if you can ever, if you're a watercolorer and you can ever snag one of them, they go fast, but you will love it. It's like a green with like gold flecks, and it's like really soft and flowery. I'll do this one right here. think I want to add another layer. So next week, we're going to skip the Wednesday stream and we're going to do Tuesday instead. I've noticed that Wednesday is hard for a lot of people, usually because of like their kids' extracurricular activities or working late. So I think we're going to try Tuesday next week and see how that goes. I really like the weekend streams because, I don't know, it's nice being able to do a stream earlier in the day. That's the other thing about these later evening ones, is that our friends on the West Coast end up pretty late. Okay, the third color I'm thinking, I mean, I really don't even need a third color, but I want a third color. I want it to be in the pink family, or the peach family, to pull in these colors on here. So let's see. I'm not a huge pink person, so you'll notice I really only have like 3, and this one's more of like a plum. That's over there in the purples. I kind of only have 2. Let's try them out. Yee, that one's a bit bubblegummy. This other one. Oh, that one's nice. Okay, that's the one we'll go with. That one is, I think that's a Designs by Rachel Beth also. Nope. It does not have a name on it, which means probably a Prima color. Hello, thanks for joining. Good to see you. We are watercoloring scrapbook backgrounds. I'm going to put this under here because go right off the edge there. Don't know, my watch is telling me to breathe. I don't know where I want to do down here. Oh good, I'm glad. Glad you guys are in favor of Tuesdays. Tiny peeking out, bit peeking out right there. Got a little muddy, so I just pulled it off and I'm gonna redo it so it's nice and bright. Cats, yes, I have 2 cats and one of them is sitting right next to me staring at me because she wants food. Usually she is like all up on my projects, like you just said. Steps all over everything. But because I have kind of like boxed myself in for between my other desk and then my Rascog cart, so I don't really think she can get in here right now. So that's giving me a little bit of breathing room. And then I'm gonna let this dry. I don't want to pull out my heat gun, so I am just going to use this piece of cardstock to dry these blobs. They don't need to be completely dry, just a little more dry than they currently are. I love that you have paw prints in your mixed media. She or he, whatever it is helping. Or she thinks she is. He thinks he is. I had a ton of cat hair stuck to the tops of my watercolors before I started, and I was trying to like pull them off. Even though that stays closed, I don't ever like leave it open on my desk if I'm not using it, and somehow it still finds its way in there. It's just this pink now. Everything else is dry. Aw, puppy daycare. The PetSmart by our house has a doggy daycare, and one of my favorite activities is to go and look through the window at all the dogs that are there. There's so many different personalities, like the shy ones, and then the ones that just want to play, but then there's always like the ones that want nothing to do with the really hyper ones. It's a good time. Especially for us that don't have dogs. I can't have a dog because we live in an apartment right now, so one day. It's just these two. This one dried. These two, though, are stubborn. Okay, I'm gonna keep going because I don't want to wait for that to dry, so I will probably regret that later, but for now, I'm just continuing on. Because we did the watercolor, I'm going to use some strong double-sided sticky tape to put this pattern paper down. Hey, Pamela. Keep it going. Okay. Tweezers, because I can never get the back of this tape off without them. You guys are quiet today. I feel like I'm a little quieter than normal today as well. Must be a midweek thing. All right. I'm going to try my best to line this up where I initially had it. Well, it's stuck, so that's where it's staying, and it is extremely crooked, I think. We all know I can never tell if things are straight or crooked, which is why most of my projects have a bunch of crooked pieces to them. Oh, it's a little crooked, but not too much. Okay, cool. Where did I put my scissors? The things I am always losing. Oh, there they are. Oh, I promise you're not missing a lot, Carolee. I don't even think I'm talking very much. All right. I like it so far. Well, first of all, I love that her name is Lulu. Second of all, the number of times I have almost drank my watercolor water, probably in the double digits, so I can understand her confusion. I was gonna put this off-centered that way because I liked the way it looks, but I really love this side right here, so I'm thinking I don't want to put it all the way to the edge. Maybe I'll just center it, but then the pink doesn't. I think I'm gonna pull that pink out a little bit more right here, and then I'll put it like that, nice and centered, probably up right there. That's fun. I like it. Okay, let's pull that pink out a little farther so that you can see it from behind the photo. Oh, thank you. Watercolors are one of my favorite things to play with. They're so easy. You literally don't have to have any skill, like any painting skill or anything. You just plop things down and it always looks good. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have done that. Got a little smear going on. I know you guys can't see it. Right there. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how excited it makes me that you were able to tell that the mic stand arrived. Well, okay, were you able to tell that because of the sound or because of something else? If it was because of the sound, that's really exciting because we initially had a few hiccups with it. Oh, you did say sounds like your mic stand arrived, so I'm assuming it was because of the sound. Oh, really? Like the volume in the replays was really quiet and you couldn't turn it up loud enough to be able to hear it well? Is that what you mean? That's good to know, actually. All of the feedback helps me so that I can slowly improve the stream experience during and after each time. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know. Now we can work on that and double check before I upload it if there's anything else that I can do to improve the replay sound quality. Okay, that's dry enough and I'm tired of waiting for it, so then I'm going to go ahead and adhere the image, the photo down. And again, I'm going to use the double-sided sticky tape because we're putting it over a little bit of watercolor right there. You guys are making me so excited with your feedback. That's one of the things I love, is that I'm always worried, like, are people gonna be too afraid to tell me if this sounds like crap or if it looks like crap? But I feel like everyone always tells me if things are not how they should be. The other collection that I want to play with one of my next photos, not collection, I just have the paper pad here in front of me. I mean, I'm sure I have the rest of it somewhere, but the only thing I pulled out was the paper pad. I pulled out the 6x6 flourish. I don't know why I can't say that today. Paper pad from Maggie Holmes. And I feel like those florals really match the feel of some of my photos that I printed, so I think I want to play with that next and see how I can add watercolors into a layout with those papers. Just a little crooked, not too bad. Oh, I'm smearing that. Oopsie. I put my palm in it. Then I'm thinking, I'm looking through my large alphas. Maybe. Ooh, I love a good chipboard. Like just plain chipboard. These are fun. No to those. Oh, these are black and not blue, so it's not. Ooh, these are kind of fun, even though I'm not a huge fan of the gold. I feel like the style of them looks good. There's without the glare. Let's see. I didn't think about a title. Just kind of went for it. I could always go with this thing that says I love you, and it's just like really simple and the title is done for me. Those are too bright. These ones are fun. They look like little typewriter keys, but I don't know what I want my title to be, and they end up taking up a lot of room when you have to put like all the circles next to each other because they can't get really close to each other. So I'm going to say no to those. Those will be a maybe, and those will be a maybe. Ooh, these are also fun because you can make them any color you want. Oh, that is totally okay. Typing on any game console where you have to go letter by letter is one of the most miserable things. I applaud you for having the patience to do that. Let's see. I kind of think it might be fun to do these and maybe use our watercolors on them. So I pulled out a 5 just because it was the first number and it was small. They use fewer numbers than I do letters, so if it's gonna turn out terribly, I don't want to waste like an S or a T or an N. I'm gonna go for, wow, oh hello. That is vibrant. Let me get you guys close here. Wait, where's my white sheet of paper? And it's not going to, let's autofocus it. Can you see how vibrant that is? I know it's trying to focus on everything but that. Look how vibrant that is. Also, that was with my left hand, which is why it was all crooked and weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess I should figure out what my title is first before I go watercoloring these letters. Let's see. Could use that. And then add like a word or two below it with these watercolored yellow. That'd be a fun look. Although the yellow might clash. Maybe I'll do the pink. The pink is the color I have the least of on here. Although I have this pink. I think I'll stick with the yellow. And see where I could, I'm gonna cut this out actually. I just cut that out at like the strangest possible angle, and surprisingly it worked quite well. Thinking right there, and then doing the word most right there in little letters. Yes, I like it. Anyone doing one little word? I have done one little word in the past, but the past few years and this year, I just select a word. And then I document it in my own way. I don't follow Ali Edwards' like course and use her prompts and stuff. I just do it on my own. But I do have a word and everything. Kind of fits in nicely right there. Hi, Carrie. I'm so glad you're able to join. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that doesn't like the whole like super feeling-y stuff. That is also one of the reasons that I just do it on my own and I don't follow her workshop or her course or whatever you want to call it. That is also the thing that didn't work for me, was how like feeling-y and stuff it was. I'm not really about that. I think it's like a personality type thing. I think you either are or you're not, and I am like you. I am not, so. Yeah, and the whole I don't know why, but like in my mind, if I'm gonna do the whole feeling thing, I just do it in my head and then I go away from it. Like I don't feel like I want to really like write down all of the feelings and stuff. That's good that it pushes you out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we need that. Okay, as you can see, there are 2 different size letters on here, so that's why I had to pull everything out so that I could get the tiny letters because I don't want them to be huge. This year is my first year. This is my first year where I'm kind of sharing less on my Insta and stuff of the things I make because there are certain things that I don't want people reading. So if I can blur it out, then I do. But if I can't, then I just don't share it. And before that would have never, I know it sounds silly, but it like would have never crossed my mind. It would have been like, oh, I just shouldn't write it on here because I won't be able to share this. Feels kind of nice giving myself permission to not share it all. And I'm just going to use, I think an exclamation point is a little too much for me, so I'm talking about feelings. I'm just going to go with a period. I'm actually an exclamation point overuser. If you've ever texted with me, there's like an exclamation point after every word, sometimes like 4 or 5 after things. It's excessive. See, Carolee, I am like you in the fact that I am definitely an overfeeler. I'm the most emotional person I've ever met in my entire life. You could show me something that has nothing to do with anything related to me or anything sad, and I will still cry at it just because I cry about everything. So it's not the feeling that I have a hard time with, it's the like reflecting on my feeling, I guess, and like documenting it and talking about it to myself and thinking about it. I have a lot of feelings, I just don't like to deal with them. That's basically what I'm saying. See? You get it. You just don't want to dig around in there. I agree. Leave it where it is, let it be. One day I will just explode from all the feelings and then go back to normal life. It happens. I keep it all inside and then like once every however many weeks, months, whatever, just like explodes. And poor Cody has to deal with it all. And because there's so much feeling everywhere about all the things I've been holding in, he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I have no idea. I just have a lot of feelings. I haven't been dealing with them. I'm doing them one at a time because I really want them to stay in their spot that they're in now. I don't know how I'm going to, I really need to put extra glue on the back of them. But I think I'm gonna have to wait till they dry to do that. So I'll stick them on like this for now, and then I'll let them dry, and then I'll go back and add some more adhesive, some liquid adhesive. Barely, you get me. Oh. Lost my period. Oh no, come back. Okay, there it is. Now it's okay. Not in the location I wanted it in. There we go. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought about that when I said that. Like, I'll just pretend I didn't. This is like 2 seconds away from major disaster and getting orange, or I mean yellow, all over this paper right here. And I am trying so hard not to let that happen. But I say that because nothing has happened yet, so it's bound to happen before I finish this title, isn't it? We did it! I mean, they're placed there, they're not stuck down, but they are placed there. And that's just kind of where they're gonna stay until they dry. This 5 is still not dry, so I'm thinking I'm gonna mute you really quick and use my heat tool to see if that will set it a little faster, because I know I'm gonna like put my palm on these or something when I'm trying to embellish. So I'm gonna mute you for just a few seconds. Okay, you may have noticed that that was probably the worst idea, because I forgot that these were not adhered. So everything went sliding everywhere, and then I used the side of my hand to try to stick them down, and all of the watercolor came off on my hand. So note to self, don't do that again. And I did end up getting a little watercolor on the paper, but luckily you can't really tell, so no big deal. Again, I'm just gonna leave them. I'm gonna mess it up. Now we're gonna go into embellishing. I'm probably, after those dry, I'm gonna let them dry overnight, and then I'm probably gonna do a second coat of that yellow to make them like really deep mustard, because I can see it lightening up as it's drying, and I wanna make sure it's really like a deep color. So just throwing that out there in case you were curious. Let me grab out some embellishments and see what we can add. This is just a random thing full of embellishments, die cuts and stuff. We are going to see what we can find in here. This little thing is cute. Let me scoot you. Hold on. Closing that so that I can scoot this up and you can see where I'm contemplating things. That is cute, but there's just too much wordage going on. Keeping that one out for something else that I just thought of. Oh, that's cute. I always forget about all the cute things that are in here. But they're just way too big for this layout and what it's got going on currently. That is not the right color. All of these are so huge. That's cute. I'll keep that out. Everything else in there is just too big. Going to grab out Girl Friday from the Reset Girl because I have it right here on my desk from when we were playing with it a few days ago. And I know that some of the colors in here will match. I'm just going to leave those there as maybes. And this one too. Little thing says love, that's cute. Today. Oh, XOXO. Says you are my happy. I I'm only laughing because I feel the same way about myself. I didn't notice that you used the wrong version of 2. And I'm sure few people other than myself noticed, but I'm just like you, and it would have bothered me until I said something about it like you did. Sometimes you have to correct yourself so that everyone knows, like, listen, I know grammar, it just didn't happen correctly that time. So, no worries here. We're a pretty accepting group. Yeah, these tickets do match well. That's kind of why I was keeping them right there. And that one's just cute. But I'm really I've been trying to save these little square ones because I want to do a little, I don't know where, but I want to do a little like grid situation like Corey did on the front of her Lister's Got a List book because they work so well together. So I'm going to refrain from using that so that I can save it and do that at some point. Let's see, these ones were not pulled out for that. They just were cute and I wanted to keep them out for later. I usually have a little thing on my desk where I put the like extra pieces that I just pull out because I like and I want to use soon, and I cannot find it right now, so I'm just going to kind of stick them off to the side. Ooh, I just got an idea. Nope, never mind. I will use that idea on a different layout. I was going to use my label maker to put the date here, but I really want the date to be like a stamped situation, so, and I don't want to put a phrase on the label because there's a lot of words going on, and there'll be more once I put those on. So let me grab my phone and see what date. I'll go ahead and put the date on here even though I haven't adhered it yet. Love. I love it. I love it. You know what my all-time favorite date stamp is that other than my 00, my 00 date stamp is like my one and only love. But other than that, my favorite date stamp that I really want to use more of this year, because I have not used it as much as I'd like to, is this one from One Canoe 2. I'm going to stamp it just so you can see how pretty it is. I always get on these like random tangents during these streams, but sometimes you just have to share things. Look at that. Hold on, I'm gonna hold it closer for you. It is by autofocus and see if it's gonna like us. It's not. Sorry, I know that's annoying on your eyes. Just really want. There we go. It focused for a sec. It's like a flower crown situation over the date. Good night. Thanks for joining. Wait. You ripped the wait, Carrie. Did you say you ripped the frame off of this thing? Well, I mean, I kind of get it because the font on this stamp is really good. I love that you are just like, yeah, it's like, now that I'm thinking about it and looking at it, it's completely practical. You could just buy, and like, this is just a screw and you could take it off. I guess I never really thought about that because I really love the font in here. So I love this little flower border around it, but I can never find a place to use it. Like, it's so big, and at my date stamps I usually do in this format where I stamp like a million times. And this just doesn't fit on anything, so I have to like remember to pull it out, stamp it, and then like fussy cut it. It doesn't fit anywhere, and that's my problem, which is why I totally understand the whole like pulling the border off. But at the same time, the border is one of the things I love about it, other than the font of the words. So that is the situation. Everyone is so excited about it. I understand. I'm very excited about it too. It is the date stamp from One Canoe 2. I think it came out in like 2017-ish. Maybe end of 2016. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. I would try scrapbook.com or Amazon. Oh, okay, you kept the border, so you could put it back on. Yes, the Project Life date stamp, when it ended at like 2017, I was in shock because usually they go up to like 2020 or 2021. I don't know. I have this thing. I love date stamps, so I'm trying to quietly pull this out for you guys to see. So when I didn't, before I pulled all of this out to show you guys that stamp, everything. These are my most used date stamps. So there are lots of others, but they fit in here so perfectly with my few most used punches. So this one is a 6 number date stamp. So you can do it in all different ways. You can just do like 040919, or you can do like I did here. I did 4-9-19. You can do all sorts of things, but the font is really huge. Then I have my 00, and then my 00 is easily my most used. And then I recently grabbed this one. It's 8 spaces, so you do the date 03292019, and it just comes out as like a big string of numbers. It does have slashes and dashes, so if you wanted to separate your dates, you could. Yes, okay, I'm glad that I'm not the only one that thinks that the frame is beautiful but makes it hard to use. I don't like large fonts on my date stamps, which is what I struggle with. This one is from Pebbles, but the font is huge, just like that first 6 space one that I showed you. Okay, every time we get into this, I go on a tangent. Last time it was about the black pens. We're just gonna go through this really quick. So this one's Pebbles, has really big numbers, but it goes up to like 2023. This one you can get online or at Hobby Lobby. This one is Felicity Jane. The font is nice and clean, and it also has a little heart in here, which I really like. I think it has 2 hearts, so you can do like 2 hearts if you don't want to do the date. The font is really clean. It goes up to 2023, 2029, 28. Goes up to 2028. And the font size, well, the font is clean and it's not too big. It's definitely smaller than the Pebbles one. So that's from Felicity Jane. If you want to buy it and you want to support me, I do have an affiliate link in my Instagram bio. These 3 are all from Amazon. I do have a link to this one in my Instagram bio. You can click on favorite tools and supplies, and this one there's a direct link to. And then these 2 are usually in the related section to this one, or sometimes they do, depending on the listing, they'll do them as like a different size option on this one. Where did this go? But yeah, I have another roller date stamp coming at the end of this week. This one's not a date stamp, just has little borders. It's from Pink Paisley. I have another date stamp coming at the end of this week. It's a brother to these black handled ones, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. At this point in time, I don't remember what differentiates it from the others, but I know that it was something different enough that I felt like I needed it. So I will share with you during Saturday's stream what is different. Back to what I was doing. I'm gonna read your guys' comments while I adhere this. I know, I'm surprised that she hasn't released another one. I know, I'm gonna be lucky if I even know where that is in 2028. But it definitely has all the dates. Yeah, so One Canoe 2 made a secondary stamp, I believe, in one of their more recent collections. I didn't know it was the same font, so that is good to know. Like everything else, it's just a tiny bit crooked, but I don't mind slightly crooked things on my layouts. Very normal for me. Do you have the Heidi Swap one with the cursive writing, where like the months are in cursive? I used that one for quite a while. It has like a black handle, I think. Does it have a black handle? I thought it did. Yeah. I'm really simple. So for a while I loved the cursive because like I was really into it. But then I went back to like my simple style, and I just love the like really plain fonts. I have my mega date stamp right here, and one of my favorite things is to compare these two because it is truly hilarious, the size difference. Like, it's pretty much the size of the handle. It's so sweet. This is another thing I wish I could use more, or that I did use more, which is why I put it out here right next to all my like most used stuff so that I could start using it more. This one's fun, but I don't want to bring in the green because we already have colors going on. I just don't feel like that one goes, so I think this one kind of blends. I don't really know where I'm putting this either, or what I'm putting on it. I feel like it needed a label. Or I mean a tab. I don't want that there. That's okay. You can be late and ask late questions. They're always welcome here. I did make the background. So I did the watercolor background, which if you do want to see the technique and stuff, you can watch the replay. And then I just added this piece of floral paper from the Wildflower collection from American Crafts. And I was just looking at this, and this is really bothering me, how it's lighter. That's where I put my palm. And I was like, oh no, I'm pulling the paint up. It was right there, so. That should be better. Carrie, I love your your pocket page style because of how like neutral and like clean and simple and modern it is. And I always want to like emulate that style because in my heart that is like how I am. My house is very neutral. My clothing is very neutral. I'm a very neutral person. But deep down, I love color, and I feel like crafting is the one place that I feel okay using my love of color. I don't like colored stuff in my house very much, so I feel like crafting is like the time that I get to just like throw up color all over things. But then I see the stuff that you create, I'm like, oh, I want to get rid of everything of color, stick with my neutrals. Although mustard is a neutral in my life, so. So let me go through it really quick. This mustard, which is one of the greatest mustard. We'll combine our styles and we'll create like a hybrid of like a little bit of color but not too much and still like very clean. That'd be like the perfect. It's also the crafting is also the one time where I like really add stuff, like cluster things together. I like very clean and like open space, but I feel like in crafting it's like all of the deep insides things that I love, I just kind of throw them on the paper and it's. Am I making any sense? Probably not. Okay, I'm going back to what I was saying. The mustard is Prima. It is from the watercolor palette. I'm actually going to look because it's bothering me. DP. That's what the. I just don't remember which one DP is. Huh. Oh, there it is. Decadent Pies. Okay, so the mustard is from Prima Marketing's Decadent Pies, and it's number 33. The blue color is from Designs by Rachel Beth, and it is called Crashing Waves. She has an Etsy shop, and she's also on Instagram with that name, Designed by Rachel Beth. And then the pink is, I think that's the one that didn't have a name on it, which means it's most likely from a Prima palette. Although, it's kind of filled like it's from. No, I think this one was from a little Etsy shop that I don't remember the name of now, but if you really like that pink color, message me on Insta or on Twitter and I will get the name of the shop and the color name for you. Yeah, mustard is just, like I said, it's a neutral in our family. Anything mustard is a yes, always. Now I can't picture. Okay, the spray paint I can picture, and I loved it. I didn't think it was too different or anything. I was ready for it. I loved it. Painting on a photo. Please tag me in a photo of that. I cannot picture it, but I'm sure I saw it, and I probably was in love with it, because that sounds like something I would do. Yes, this teal is one of the greatest. If you are a watercolorer or just like to play with watercolors, definitely follow Designs by Rachel Beth on Insta and on Etsy. She only comes out with like, she works a day job, so she makes them by hand and then she puts them out like as she can. So you have to keep an eye out on Insta for her restocks, and they're usually on Fridays, but her paints are amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Oh, I could have just making a mess. I don't like it. These are not being used. And I think I need a tab in a... Do I need to bring in more wood grain? A wood grain tab would be nice. Let me grab my punch. This is the blue tab punch from We Are Memory Keepers. They have a few different tab punches and they have different colored handles. So if you want this shape, it's the blue teal handle. This, I will say, is the perfect label or the perfect tab shape, but it does not last a long time unless I just got a bad punch. This thing has been dying a very slow death since like the second time I ever used it. So it punches fine, and then it just does not. Sorry if that was really loud. I have to push it to get it to release the paper, which is why I take this off every time. But it still punches, so there's no point in getting a new one, right? There we go. That's what I was needing. Wait, so are you saying that you have the same punch and it doesn't do that? Or are you saying that you have the same punch and it does? Or neither of those things and I'm just making things up? And what do I want to put on here? I'm thinking a word strip. Oh. So it doesn't eat your paper, thank goodness. The paper comes out perfectly crisp and intact. You just have to go through the hassle of like pushing it down. I have this circle punch. I'm getting so distracted. I'll be lucky if I finish a layout on stream, Carolee. That's my goal, is to just finish this one because tonight is not going to be a super long stream, so I'm just going to finish this. I have this circle punch from Fiskars, and okay, so I must have gotten a bad one. That's good to know. Eventually one day I will get a new one. I have this circle punch, and like the second time I used it, I did that and some piece of plastic from somewhere, oh right there, went like flying across the room, and there are like all these bent white marks, and it was like jammed and it ate my paper to the point where my paper was like in shreds. And I was so upset, I was ready to go throw it away and get a new one of a different brand. And then Cody somehow fixed it. And we did the whole like punching tin foil thing so that it would sharpen up. I know, I have really bad luck with punches. And I still use that punch. It doesn't work wonderfully, but it does the job. You can probably hear. Do you hear how loud that is? It was not that loud when I first started using it. I think it rubs on something, and a lot of times it's not completely crisp. But again, shopping, streaming, crafting, you have it all going on. I don't, is it a crafting myth? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like there are a lot of crafting myths. We should do our own crafty mythbuster episode where we test out all these things that they say are like life-changing crafting tips and tricks that you need to know, and then we see if they work or not. I really wish I could fit a banner in, but it's just not happening, so thinking I need to keep it simple. Where did these go? Right here. I think I'm gonna do a stamp on there, and then okay, good. I'm glad that somebody else likes that idea. I'll work on that. Although I need somebody to send me a bunch of crafting myths that we can debunk. Is that what they call it? Debunking them? Okay, I like those there. And then I'm going to do a stamp on here. So let's adhere these. I didn't mention it when we first started, but if you missed it, the hashtag is now, let me see if I can get this right there for our stream. So if you made anything, or if like we chatted about something and you want to share it, also I just said something. It's not a common word in my vocabulary, but it just happened. Then share it on Instagram and or Twitter using that hashtag so that we can all see it. I will most definitely wear goggles and a hard hat. Although I already wear glasses. Does that count? I can wear contacts that day. I have to find I'm gonna get a hard hat that's white, and then I'm gonna do some painting on it so that it looks crafty. You have to have a crafty hard hat if you're gonna be dealing with crafty myths. Oh. I don't like this today. I put this today down and it looks like it says I love today, and then if I put it on the bottom, if I swap those, then it looks like it says you are my happy today, like you're not my happy most days. So the today is not going to make it on there. I'm going to select, I need a grouping of 3, so I'm just going to go back and select a different third word strip. Do this one, it says grateful. Oh. And in case you were wondering, this is actually the bottom of the thing that my stamps are in, the roller stamps. When I brought out that little glass thing, it turns over and goes on top, and this is actually a butter dish. So if you're ever in need of some storage solutions, hit me up, I can help with that. I just really liked the way it looked, but we didn't have a need for a butter dish, so then we're going to do some stamping. I am going to use my stamp sets. I just did an inventory and I still have some of these left, so they'll be added to the Made in Mojave site this week. Keep an eye out for these on Instagram. I will put in my stories or in my feed when they're restocked. There are a few that I want to use. I don't know, butter dishes are really cute in theory, and like when I was younger we had a butter dish, but I can't have butter, so I use dairy-free margarine. It's basically just solidified olive oil, and then Cody likes using butter, like stick butter, but he just cuts off what he needs and then he puts the rest in a Ziploc. So there's a piece of cat hair in this if you're wondering what I'm messing with. And I cannot get it out, so it's fine. Oh, this one's cute. I'll just use this one, my person. Because there are like 10 that I want to use on here, but they just will not fit. Sometimes you have to say no. Ooh, what if I did my normal border, but I did it in like a nice navy blue to match this paper? Ooh, I like that idea. But we'll have to see if I can find a navy blue pen. That will be the real. Deciding factor. I didn't finish that sentence. That'll be the real deciding factor of whether or not I let me you guys are about to see my pen situation and just how many pens I have just on my desk, not even like in my drawers, because there are pouches and pouches and pouches full of them in my drawers. That's not navy blue, but that's a pretty color. This is like a sage greenish gray. It's really pretty. You don't want to add another color in though. Oh, look at this. Navy blue. Wow, wouldn't you know it? I actually didn't know I had that. But thinking about it now, I got this because I wouldn't necessarily buy a navy blue pen for myself normally. I just use black. But I got this in one of the swag bags from a PlannerCon. I don't remember if it was this year or last year. It's not super navy. This is the PN, so it's like it's not the normal micron tip. It's the, I don't know what you call this tip. I have a purple micron floating around somewhere, and I was going to compare it, but I don't know where it is. So I'm going to use this and just deal with the fact that it's not super navy. It's kind of like a faded navy. Does it say the colors on here? No, it just has its number, 243. Ooh, I can't tell if I love it or hate it, but it's definitely different. I always get really quiet when I have to really focus to make those messy lines. I mean, not to make the lines messy, I have to focus so that they aren't messier than they end up being. I kind of like this pen. I'm going to put that over here, which is like my more used pen section. And let's finish it off with some gold splatters because I need to pull in a little more gold from here. I could add a few wood veneer hearts also. Let's do that really quick. My goal was to make tonight's stream 2 hours, and so far we're on schedule. We started at 6:30, so we have a few more minutes here to finish this layout up. I don't know if you can hear my neighbor hammering the wall, but that is something that's happening right now. I also didn't think about where I was sticking this before I added glue to it, so I'm just going to put it right there. Oh, good. That means that this new mic thing is working better than the old mic setup, because with the old mic setup, I'm pretty sure you would have heard that. So we are making progress. And I like to do groups of 3, so getting a bit crowded down here, so I'm going to add the third one up here as like a little cluster. Now let's go back into our that I know you can hear. I feel like people next door can hear that. See, it was like crafty ASMR. I'm glad that it wasn't the most annoying thing to hear that while I was like talking and stuff. That's good. I did have my mic. I don't know if you've joined into a previous stream, but I did have my mic like right here, and right next to it is all of my tools. So every time I would put my scissors and stuff away, right into the microphone was like a, and so I'm sure that I just deafened you by doing that, but that's what it sounded like every time. So I felt bad. I felt like I needed to stop that from happening because I wouldn't want that in my ear. The scissors and stuff, I'm like you guys, I wouldn't really mind. It's relaxing. But the clunking and stuff, or like when I would do this, you could hear so much scratching against the table. So hopefully it doesn't cancel out everything that, like when I'm not talking, it sounds like dead, but hopefully it cancels out enough that you don't have tools crashing in your ear. There would be a lot less trolls online. You are right with that. So am I the only one that misses typing like letter by letter when like you first started texting? Did like A, B, C to get to C? I actually really enjoyed that. I found it to be calming. Now I have a whole keyboard on my phone, obviously. It's less of a challenge. Alrighty, I think that finishes up the layout. I'm going to turn on the dreaded autofocus. I hope it doesn't hurt your eyes, and show you the layout up close. You can see the I love you is in like a gold foil. Oh, there it is. Good old Motorola. Alrighty. So we did pretty good. We're at 2 hours. I'll say my normal spiel for those of you that haven't heard it a million times. Thank you guys for coming to craft with me. I announced the stream times on Twitter and Instagram, so follow me on both of those. They are both made in Mojave. If you haven't joined the Creatives Club's Facebook group, there's a link in my Insta bio for that, and there's just a new freebie put up today. So if you like free things and chatting with people about crafting, go join us over there. What else? The replay for this will be on YouTube, so if you missed the first half or you had to walk away and come back, you can always go rewatch it over there. I am also Made in Mojave on YouTube, so if you're not following along, be sure to do so. I have lots of non-stream videos coming up soon. And yeah, I think that's it. Again, thank you guys so much for coming to chat with me. Oh, I forgot something. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. You guys are so kind. If you were crafting and creating something during this stream, make sure you share it on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag #MIMCraftyStream. It's right, let me use this. It's right there if you need to see it visually. That way I can go and see what you guys were creating while I was chatting away. Alrighty, friends, I will see you on Saturday morning. Don't forget to tune in for the next stream, and stay tuned on Instagram for what I'm going to be working on. Okay, bye.